Well, okay. Thought I had a voice, apparently. Well, I don't know. We've got a chance of storms today, and hopefully that will bring the humidity down. Not that that's going to do anything for my hair. I also messed with the closet in here this morning, so now Gio's over there trying to get in the closet. I'm like, there's nothing in there for him, but he doesn't know that. And of course, apparently I forgot to save my, information, so I had to put it back in. So that took a minute. So, I don't know why I put my glasses on. First things first, let's do the housekeeping. And the housekeeping is simply me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. That gives you one email a week unless something unusual happens. We do live in hurricane country. Fortunately, hurricane season is almost over. We got about a week left. And it tells you what's going on for the week and the month. And the hot links are hot. It is also a blind CC, meaning nobody will see your emails. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. So that should be all of that information. I'll mention the social medias briefly, merely from the standpoint if we do not monetize it. Meaning we don't pay for the algorithms to bump us. We don't want you to give them money to give us because, they take a percentage of it and they've already got plenty of money. So we don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is to engage with the pages. Go like, subscribe, follow based on which platform you are on, and then engage with the individual post, react to the post, comment on the post, share the post. Bumps us in the algorithm. So it's a free, easy way you can support the center. All it costs you is a click. All right. That should be everything. Oh, and I left that skirt hanging in the hall, and they are now playing under the skirt. I got it out of the closet, put it out there so I wouldn't forget it, and now Giovanni is playing with it. Giovanni, that is a very expensive skirt. Get your claws out of it. Tom? Can you just move the skirt into the bedroom? Other one. Thank you. It is a very expensive skirt. I'm going to wear it tomorrow for the Renaissance Festival. All right. So again, I'm pre-putting on the glasses. I don't need them yet. We are doing Your Spiritual Power. This is an inspirational collection, or as I like to call it, a library, because it is a compilation of some of Ernest Holmes' other works. We happen to be doing Living Without Fear, and Living Without Fear and Discover a Richer Life are actually collections of Ernest Holmes articles from the Science of Mind magazine. I think that's really cool. It explains why it's a different voice than some of his other books. Because in the magazine, he's writing directly to you. So he's talking directly to you instead of trying to get a point across like some of his, we're not going to talk about the textbook. I never recommend people start with the Science of Mind textbook. If you want to start with Ernest Holmes, I always recommend you start with this thing called You. Because of the way it's written. It's far more accessible than the textbook. Really honestly, with the textbook, you want to read that with somebody else. Because, otherwise, it's a textbook. So, okay, what we are doing is Living Without Fear. We're going to finish up part 1, which is Freedom from Fear is Possible. And today is the basis of Science of Mind. So it's another history article where he's telling you why he started Science of Mind. At least that's what I'm assuming from the title. I could be wildly wrong. Let's find out. I don't think so, but you never know. And I did mention this thing called You. Now, this thing called You, it's a wonderful book. I found out there's not an Audible version of it, so I made one. If you go to either the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel or the Creative Life Spiritual Center YouTube channel, and go to the playlist, on both of those channels is this thing called You. The playlist is in chapters. You can listen to any and all of the chapters as many times as you like to. And I think in either chapter, I want to tell you it's chapter 12. There's a moment where I pause because you can hear my cats fighting in the background, and then I make them stop and then go back to reading. It's kind of funny. I could be wrong about the chapter, but so, okay. So today we are doing the basis of Science of Mind. It is a fairly long chapter, so I'm going to try and get through it because I don't have a whole lot of time this morning. it got away from me. It's Friday though, so Okay. The basis of science of mind. Science of mind, in its broadest and truest sense, includes all there is of science, religion, and philosophy. Science of mind is not a personal opinion, nor is it a special revelation. It is the result of the best thought of the ages. It borrows much of its light from others, but in so doing does not rob anyone, for truth is universal and never personal. We need the entire revelation of the whole world, and even with this, we shall have little enough. The universe is impersonal. It gives alike to all. It is no respecter of persons. It values each alike. The philosopher, the priest, and the professor, the humanitarian, and the empire builder, all have caught some gleam of the eternal glory, and each has spoken in their own tongue that language which is of itself universal. Science is a knowledge of facts that are provable. Science is not an opinion, but knowledge, a demonstrable truth of which there may be a practical application. Science reveals universal truths and gives them to the world as practical values and usable facts. Science of mind does not scoff at the words or works of medical science, for instance. They both work to help and heal humanity. Science of mind is a complement to medical science, and when so understood and practiced, will help heal the world of its physical infirmities. The world of knowledge needs to be knit together and not pulled apart. We have no objection to any form of healing. What we insist on is that there can be no permanent healing of the body without a corresponding permanent poise in the mental and emotional life. And I would tell you from one of my favorite classes in my undergraduate degree, which is anthropology, was medical anthropology. And so we looked at Eastern systems and Western systems, and that statement right there is the difference between the Eastern and the Western system. In the Eastern system, if you want to affect permanent healing in the body, you have to work on the body, the mind, and the soul. Okay? Which is what Ernest just said. Whereas in the Western mindset, mostly we're just chasing symptoms. You know, we're not even trying to fix the symptoms. We're basically trying to suppress the symptoms. I have an autoimmune. I actually have, I think 3 autoimmunes, and I had to change both my mental and emotional and my spiritual mindset to get better, because I needed to make different decisions and stop, like emotional eating. Like, because when you emotional eat, the things that you choose to eat affect your body in ways that really kicked my autoimmune. To affect permanent healing, you gotta work on all 3. Okay? It's one of the things that I love about 1, science of mind, and 2, what I do. Okay. So yeah, it's like, go to the doctor, take the pill, but also do meditation, pray, do all of it. None of it's excluded. All of it is included, and all of it will help. Okay. Psychosomatic medicine has shown that mental disturbances, conscious or subjective, produce physical reactions in the body. I carry my stress right here. That makes my hands go numb. Mm-hmm. Very physical response to stress. If the body is to be permanently well, one's mental life must be creative, peaceful, and happy. This is the purpose of any mental healing, whether it be approached from the psychological or the metaphysical angle. Psychology and metaphysics are but two ends of the same thing. They meet somewhere in consciousness and merge into a perfect unit. Science of mind teaches that there is a favorable physical reaction and effect which follows a pattern of thought, incorporating ideas of health. For the law of cause and effect governs everything. Similarly, it has held that right thinking will result in a greater experience of success and abundance. A successful person thinks success, and the law of mind that reacts has no other choice than to produce an effect corresponding to the causative idea. The road to freedom lies not through mysteries or occult performances, but through the intelligent use of natural forces and laws. The law of mind is a natural law in the spiritual world. We need not ask why this is so. There can be no reason given as to why the truth is true. Okay. We do not create laws and principles, but discover and make use of them. That is truth. Let us accept this position relative to the law of mind and spirit and see what we can do with it rather than how we may construct the inevitable. Our mind and spirit is our echo of the eternal thing itself. And the sooner we discover this fact, the sooner we will be made free and happy. God, the universal life force and energy running through everything, is an intelligent presence pervading all space, a beginningless and endless eternity of eternities, a self-existent cause, a perfect unit, a complete wholeness. The unthinking would believe that God is a spirit who keeps books and checks up on the wrongdoing of each member of the human race, and that it sends some to heaven and some to hell, and all for its glory. Each, according to their own light, has believed in the kind of God who best fits their personal ideas, or in the idea of God that has been imposed on them by ignorant or superstitious leaders. Ugh, and I would say if you are ignorant, you are probably superstitious. So I would say, and. But ever there has been the voice of those crying in the wilderness of superstitious ignorance, doubt, and fear. The voice of those who have thought the thing through to conclusions that have been independent of race beliefs, of the subtleties of religious dogma, and of the theological superstitions. These have been the way showers of humanity, and millions have lighted candles from their flames. But the world progresses slowly. Evolution and the growth of knowledge and wisdom is a process of time and experience. Yeah, every now and again, you just want to kick it and go, can't you go a little faster? No, it can't. But we try. So we just keep crying in the wilderness. In olden times, an intelligent few understood much deeper truths than were known by the multitude. But the common people were thrown a few crumbs from the tables of those who were in the know. These crumbs were shrouded in mystery, symbol, word, picture, and parable. Perhaps this was the only way in which the wisdom could have been taught at all. And frequently that is the truth. If you are familiar with the deck of tarot cards, which people use for fortune telling, it's actually a way to transmit knowledge where you can just use it as a regular deck of playing cards. But there's also a whole lot of information encoded in those pictures. Because if you were caught teaching this kind of stuff, you would get burned at the stake for a little while. Remember that? Yeah. So that was Ernest Holmes saying, yeah, there was a time. Ugh. Okay. In principle, the great religions of the world do not differ as much as they appear to. Stripped of their accumulation of adornments and observance and incrustations of interpretations, incrustation of interpretations. That is epic. I love that. Okay. It is found that each acknowledges that there is one central power, force, or God, which is self-existent, and it is from this one power that all things emanate. All of life flows from it and is a part of it. Nothing can exist separate from it. The Christian interpretation of the ultimate nature of the creative source of the universe places more emphasis on the life of the individual as being an integral part of the one life. For this reason, an intelligent understanding of the fundamental concepts of Christianity has had a greater appeal to the progressive peoples of the world. That's actually one of my beefs with Christianity, is because a lot of the other religions focus on the community and Christianity focused on the individual and kind of left the community behind. And we bought into this rugged individualism, and it's made us a lot less cooperative. It's one of my jobs as a minister to think about what's best for the community, not what's best for me. And that's one of my beefs with Christianity. So, just setting it out there, yeah, we need each other. And that's the God's honest truth. We need each other. Okay, we're almost done. But even in the Christian religion, much of its real meaning is hidden by words that are misleading and symbols that but a few understand. Okay, he has a beef with Christianity too. Interesting. We could scarcely find a greater riddle to solve than the meaning of the Holy Trinity. Also, most people either reject the Bible entirely or accept it totally and literally. Both these methods are mistakes. Yep. Religion is a person's idea of God, and the Bible is a written declaration of the belief in God held by a great race of people. Well, he says the Jews, but the Hebrew Testament is the Jewish Testament. The New Testament is the Christian Testament. So we can't lay all of this on the Jews. The Christians had as much to do with the messes. Okay. Sorry. It is in many respects the greatest book ever written and does truly point a way to eternal values. But it is only one explanation and cannot be considered the only light on religion, for there are many others which, taken together, weave the story of truth into a complete and unified pattern. The many sacred books of the East constitute other Bibles which point ways to the truth, but each is only another way and cannot be considered the way. All races have had their religions and have had their Bibles. All have pointed a way to ultimate value. But can we say that any of them have really pointed the way? It is unreasonable to suppose that any one person or race encompasses all the truth and alone can reveal the way of life to all others. This viewpoint does not apply to other forms of knowledge, but seems to have been adopted only when dealing with religion, and it is a great mistake. Oh. Yep. Okay. It is a great mistake. The world is tired of mysteries, does not understand symbols, and longs for reality. What is the truth? Where may it be found, and how used? These are the questions that an intelligent person asks, and they must have an answer. They may find their answer in the study of science of mind, shorn of dogmatism, freed from superstition, and open at the top for greater illumination, unbound and unlimited. Science of mind offers the student of life the most understandable and intelligent approach that the world has thus far achieved. Well, he has big thoughts about his, and one of the things that I would say, one of the reasons why I would agree that he's right. I mean, obviously I'm a science of mind minister, so I obviously agree that I think this is the best system for me and for a lot of people. But one of the reasons why I believe that is because it encourages us to go out and read everybody else's. He's like, nah, go read the Bhagavad Gita. Go read the Koran. Go read the Upanishads. Go read, the various books in the Bible. Because if you haven't looked, depending on if you're Eastern Orthodox, Western Orthodox, Catholic, Protestant, there are different books in the Bible. That's why I have a student Bible that has all of them. Go read the Gnostic Bible. Go read the Nag Hammadi material. That's what Science of Mind says. Go explore for yourself. Intellectual freedom and religious liberty are necessary to the unfolding spirit in humanity. Whatever is true is free to all alike. We cannot cover the infinite with a finite blanket. Oh my goodness. Cannot cover the infinite with a finite blanket. It refuses to be concealed. God has no favorites and knows no privileged class. Science of Mind reads every person's Bible and gleans the truth contained wherein. Didn't I just say that? Go read everybody else's books. Talk to other people. It studies all people's knowledge and draws from each that which is self-evident. Only that which is self-evident can stand at the test of reason and time. Without criticism, without judgment, but with true discrimination. That which is true and provable may be discovered and put to practical use. We should take the truth wherever we find it, making it our very own, borrowing knowledge of reality from all sources, taking the best from every study. Science of Mind brings together the highest enlightenment of the ages. If I ever heard a sales pitch for Science of Mind, that was it. And they talk about that. They talk about elevator speeches. Well, that was Ernest Holmes' elevator speech. You've got from, however many floors to convince the person. That's what he just did there. Go read everybody else's stuff and then let's talk about it. That's who Science of Mind is. We want to read everybody's stuff and we want to talk about it. And we want to talk about it with the people who wrote it. We want to talk to those people. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. I want to know. All right. I got to go though. So I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of business day, a you got this day, a let's wrap this week up day, a let's hope we get to dance in the rain day, a drink plenty of water day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a good day, and a don't talk too fast day, Lisa, because that's apparently where we are today, a good day, and if that is too much pressure, because occasionally it is, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. Right, Dante? You know who you are, don't you, beautiful boy? Oh, explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good, and from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds, Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will not be back until Monday. I'm going to go work at the Renaissance Festival on Saturday, and I'm going to go play on Sunday. That being said, I do intend to read chapter 3 of Emma Saturday night, so you can watch out for that. But we will pick this back up with part 2 Monday around 9:15. So take care of yourself, know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.